Welcome to the Deep Dive, where today we're diving into Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. We've got some excerpts here, and we want to kind of see if we can tease out the nuggets, the golden nuggets of wisdom that could shift your financial perspective.
It really does explore the psychology of wealth, exploring the often overlooked beliefs and habits that distinguish those who thrive financially from those who don't.
So we're on a quest to decode the millionaire mind,
Absolutely. And one of the first things we encounter is this idea of a financial blueprint.
like a preset financial thermostat. So even if we hit a windfall or make a few savvy moves, we'll just kind of drift back to that pre-programmed level of wealth.
That's exactly it. This subconscious programming, often formed during childhood, is like a force, determining how we attract, manage, and even feel about money.
Okay, I'm intrigued already. Eager mentions three major influences that shape this financial blueprint, he calls them. Verbal programming, modeling, and specific incidents. Let's dig into these.
All right, verbal programming. Think about all those messages we heard about money growing up. Those phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that.
It's amazing how those seemingly harmless phrases can have such a lasting impact. I still find myself repeating some of the things my parents used to say about money. What about this modeling concept?
Modeling refers to the financial behaviors we observe and absorb from our parents or caregivers. Think about it. Were they meticulous savers? Carefree spenders? You might find yourself unconsciously mirroring those behaviors in your own life.
Eager uses this funny analogy of the ham being cut at both ends, a tradition passed down without anyone questioning the reason. Makes you wonder what financial quirks we might be blindly replicating from our own upbringing.
Absolutely. We inherit these habits without even realizing it. That's why awareness is so important.
All right, and the last one, specific incidents.
These are pivotal moments, either positive or negative, that forge a lasting impression on our financial psyche. For example, witnessing a parent struggling with debt could lead to a deep-seated fear of financial instability.
Eager shares a fascinating story about a woman who consistently overspent. Turns out she often heard her mother say, "Dad has all the money." This seemingly innocuous phrase created a subconscious link between wealth and men, impacting her spending habits as an adult.
Precisely. These seemingly unrelated events act as emotional anchors, shaping our financial choices for years to come.
So the takeaway here is, if we really want to get to the bottom of our financial challenges, we can't just focus on budgeting apps or investment strategies.
Right. We need to go deeper to the root cause to create lasting change.
It's like tending to a garden, pruning the leaves and picking the fruit. Won't matter much if the roots are unhealthy.
Perfect analogy. Shift your focus from the fruits, those external results, to the roots, the internal beliefs and mindset.
So instead of fixating on income or investments, the transformation begins with examining and revising our financial blueprint.
It's about recognizing that our external reality often mirrors our internal world. Shifting the inner game paves the way for lasting success.
That brings us to the heart of Eker's work, the distinct contrast between the rich mindset and the poor mindset. How these two groups approach not just money, but life itself.
He suggests that people with a rich mindset tend to embrace challenges. They think big and are comfortable promoting themselves and their value.
And those with a poor mindset might shy away from promoting themselves, maybe because they're afraid of rejection or perhaps even feeling unworthy. They seem to prioritize security, avoid risks, and stay firmly within their comfort zones.
Exactly. And they view success differently too. People with a rich mindset often admire and learn from others who've achieved wealth.
While those with a poor mindset might actually resent or criticize people who've achieved financial success.
It's this difference in attitude that's fascinating, highlighting how our perception of wealth shapes our ability to attract and manage it. A self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
So Eker states that rich people think big, setting ambitious goals and pursuing those growth opportunities.
They operate with an abundance mentality. They truly believe there are unlimited possibilities. They view wealth creation as a game to be won.
In contrast, poor people, they often think small, right?
Yeah.
Limiting themselves with beliefs of scarcity and being fearful of potential setbacks.
Exactly. They prioritize security over growth, playing not to lose rather than playing to win.
And another difference is where their focus lies. Rich people prioritize building their net worth. They're accumulating assets and seeking ways to generate passive income.
While poor people tend to focus solely on their working income, trading their time for money, they often overlook those long-term wealth creation strategies.
And when it comes to action, rich people are driven. They're willing to take calculated risks and embrace discomfort and persist even in the face of fear or uncertainty.
Whereas poor people are often paralyzed by fear, leading them to avoid risks and letting those doubts control their choices. They can get trapped in that cycle of financial limitations.
It all comes back to a fundamental difference. Rich people are excellent at receiving. They embrace abundance and believe they're worthy of all the good that the universe has to offer.
While poor people can struggle to receive, they might feel undeserving or uncomfortable accepting abundance, subconsciously blocking the flow of prosperity into their lives.
These distinctions really paint a vivid picture of how our mindset shapes our financial reality. Eker's work encourages us to really look at our beliefs and behaviors. We can identify those self-limiting patterns that might be holding us back.
It's like we're holding a mirror to our financial psyche, isn't it? Financial success is not about luck, circumstances, or even intelligence, but about cultivating that millionaire mind. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts and manages wealth.
And the fascinating thing is, anyone can acquire this mindset with conscious effort and a willingness to challenge limiting beliefs. So it's less about changing our circumstances and more about changing ourselves. Eker even provides practical tools and exercises to kind of reprogram our subconscious, shifting our financial blueprint from scarcity to abundance.
One of the most powerful tools he suggests is taking action, even in the face of fear and discomfort. He calls it taming the cobra of fear, because our minds often create exaggerated scenarios that amplify those perceived risks.
I've heard he does a demonstration in his seminars where participants break arrows with their necks. Right. Not something I recommend trying at home, though.
Definitely not. The point is, fear is often an illusion, a mental barrier preventing us from reaching our potential.
So acknowledge the fear, but act anyway. Push past those comfort zones and step into those limitless possibilities.
Another critical thing is to always be learning and seeking expert guidance. Rich people, they invest in their education. They attend seminars, they read books, they seek out mentors who have achieved that level of success they aspire to.
It's like having a shortcut to success.
It really is. They understand knowledge is power, particularly when it comes to finances.
Eker also emphasizes the importance of financial discipline. Managing money isn't just for the wealthy. It's a skill that can be developed regardless of income.
One thing he suggests is a structured approach, creating different accounts for specific financial goals like saving, investing, necessities, education, even play.
Makes sense. It promotes balance, intentionality, and conscious awareness of how we're utilizing our resources. I feel like I could benefit from more structure in my own finances.
He also suggests seeking professional guidance from financial advisors. Think of them like a seasoned navigator, guiding us through the complexities of the financial landscape.
Now let's talk about how rich and poor people approach work and income generation.
He challenges that idea that hard work alone leads to wealth, instead emphasizing working smarter and leveraging resources. Rich people, they're masters of leverage. They use systems, investments, other people's time and talents to multiply their efforts.
Not working harder, but making their work work for them.
Exactly. They build businesses and passive income streams, generating wealth that goes beyond their personal labor.
It's like making your money work harder than you do. Now let's dive into those specific wealth files that Eker talks about. Empowering beliefs and actions that contribute to a millionaire mind.
He has a whole list of them, each one representing a key principle. For example, rich people believe money is important, poor people believe money is not important. Seems counterintuitive at first.
It does. I think most people, regardless of their financial status, would agree that money is important.
The point is, when we acknowledge the significance of money, we can approach it with intentionality. Money is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used constructively or destructively, but ignoring its significance prevents us from utilizing its power.
So it's not about worshiping money, but about understanding its potential to create positive change.
Exactly. Beyond basic survival, money can be used for education, travel, philanthropy, making a real difference in the world. Recognizing its importance empowers us to manage it effectively, make better decisions, and create the lives we want.
Another wealth file that stood out to me is, rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me.
That speaks to the difference between taking control versus feeling like a victim of circumstance.
So rich people, they take responsibility for their financial outcomes, while poor people might blame external factors for their situation.
Absolutely. Rich people understand they're in the driver's seat. They make conscious choices and accept responsibility for those choices. They don't blame their jobs, the economy, their past, anything like that for their struggles.
I've definitely caught myself falling into that victim mentality, blaming external circumstances rather than owning my choices.
Eker encourages us to embrace the rich mindset, taking responsibility and recognizing our power to create the financial future we desire. It's about empowerment, not powerlessness.
There might be external factors, sure, but ultimately it's our choices and actions that truly matter.
Exactly. This shift from a victim to a creator is essential for taking control and achieving financial success.
Here's a wealth file that really challenges conventional thinking. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose.
This highlights the contrast between playing offensively versus defensively when it comes to your finances.
So rich people, they have this winning mentality, while poor people are focused on avoiding loss.
Precisely. Rich people are driven, they set bold goals, take risks, and strive for that abundance. They see failures as opportunities, not defeats.
While poor people prioritize security and avoid risks, they might settle for mediocrity just to avoid stepping outside their comfort zone.
Esker urges us to adopt that play-to-win mentality. Set bold goals, envision that abundance. Playing not to lose will only limit your potential and keep you stuck in that scarcity mindset.
It's about being strategic, not reckless. Calculated risks are necessary, but it's about approaching those risks with a strategic mindset and learning from any setbacks along the way.
Exactly. This bold approach opens those doors to opportunities, allowing us to create a life of freedom and abundance.
Okay, how about this one? Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems.
It's about how we perceive and handle challenges in our financial lives. Rich people see problems as opportunities. They learn from them, grow from them, and often find innovative ways to solve them.
They don't let problems define them or limit their potential. They see those problems as temporary setbacks on the path to their goals.
Precisely. Poor people can feel overwhelmed by their problems. Those problems can dominate their thinking and dictate their actions. They might dwell in the negative or feel powerless to change things.
Eker wants us to believe that we are bigger than our problems.
We can see challenges as opportunities for growth, not insurmountable roadblocks.
Our ability to overcome those problems ultimately determines our financial outcomes. We need resilience, problem-solving skills, and a proactive mindset.
Right. It's not about avoiding challenges, but about developing the inner strength to overcome them.
Another wealth file that really resonated with me. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion.
Many people struggle with this, stemming from limiting beliefs about what it truly means to promote yourself.
I've definitely struggled with self-promotion in the past, feeling like it's somehow inauthentic or uncomfortable to highlight my skills and accomplishments. Why is this distinction so important?
Rich people understand the power of communication. Showcasing their skills, promoting their offerings, attracting opportunities, all of that is vital.
It's not about being pushy or bragging, but about authentically sharing your expertise.
Precisely. It's about expressing your value genuinely. Poor people often shy away from this, thinking their work should speak for itself.
They might downplay their abilities or fear rejection, which ends up hindering their progress.
Eker challenges us to view self-promotion as a skill, one that allows us to share our gifts and attract those opportunities.
It's less about boasting and more about confidently communicating your value to the world.
Developing communication skills, networking strategically, and showcasing your expertise. These are all ways to attract clients, customers, and collaborators.
It's about stepping into your potential and creating that life of fulfillment.
Beautifully said. It's about being seen and appreciated for the value we bring to the table.
Now let's consider this wealth file. Rich people are willing to be uncomfortable. Poor people are committed to being comfortable.
It's counterintuitive. We all want to be comfortable. But Eker suggests that growth and true success requires us to step outside that familiar comfort zone and embrace the feeling of being uncomfortable.
So rich people, they see discomfort as a sign of progress, an indicator that they're pushing boundaries and expanding their potential.
Precisely. They understand that discomfort often leads to growth and expansion. Poor people prioritize comfort and security above all else, which often means avoiding anything that challenges their current way of being.
It's like choosing between staying stuck in your current situation and going after something greater, even if that path might involve some discomfort along the way.
Exactly. Eker challenges us to step outside those comfort zones and embrace those challenges. He reminds us that our comfort zones are often self-imposed cages, and it's when we step outside of them that we unlock our true potential.
Embrace the unknown and the possibilities that lie beyond your comfort zone.
Precisely. This willingness to be uncomfortable can lead to a more fulfilling life, both personally and financially.
This wealth file really resonated with me. Rich people learn from their mistakes and get richer. Poor people make the same mistakes over and over and stay poor.
This is about mindset. It's about adopting a growth mindset. Rich people view their mistakes as valuable learning experiences. They learn from them, extract the lessons, and refine their strategies for the future.
So it's not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them and using them to your advantage.
Exactly. Poor people may view those mistakes as personal failures. They dwell on them, they repeat the same patterns, hindering their progress.
It's about changing how we relate to failure. Instead of a setback, it becomes feedback, a lesson.
Precisely. Developing that growth mindset, taking the feedback on board, and adjusting your strategies accordingly can turn setbacks into breakthroughs.
Eker says we all make mistakes. The difference is what we do with them.
It's not about being perfect, it's about using those mistakes to propel ourselves forward.
Here's another wealth file. Rich people focus on their strengths. Poor people focus on their weaknesses.
This highlights the importance of leveraging your unique talents and abilities to create success. Rich people identify their strengths, they nurture those strengths, and they delegate the tasks that don't align with their natural talents.
They focus on what they're good at instead of trying to be good at everything.
Exactly. They understand that this leads to greater productivity and ultimately greater rewards. Poor people can sometimes get stuck focusing on their weaknesses.
It's like trying to fix what's wrong instead of celebrating what's already working well.
Eker encourages us to shift our attention to our strengths. We all have unique talents and abilities that can be harnessed for success.
It's about finding what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and then finding ways to use those skills to create value.
Delegate tasks that don't play to your strengths. This way, you can operate from a position of power and really maximize your potential.
It's about embracing your authentic self and using those strengths to create the life you desire.
Beautifully put.
Now let's unpack this. Rich people act to promote their net worth. Poor people act to promote their self-worth. Especially in today's world, where we're constantly bombarded with messages equating material possessions with worth.
This distinction emphasizes the difference between true wealth and seeking validation from external sources, particularly possessions.
Right. Rich people understand that true wealth goes beyond material possessions. They're building a solid financial foundation that aligns with their goals and aspirations.
Their decisions are driven by sound principles, strategy, and a desire to create those assets that generate income and secure their future.
While poor people often make financial decisions based on their need for validation from others, trying to keep up appearances, accumulating debt to impress others, and neglecting their long-term well-being for that fleeting external approval.
Exactly. Eker urges us to align our actions with our own long-term goals and aspirations, not about impressing anyone else, but about creating a secure foundation that reflects our values and our purpose.
This shift in perspective allows us to create a life that is truly wealthy, both financially and emotionally. A life that feels authentic and aligned with our true selves.
Well said.
Okay, another interesting one is rich people see opportunities, poor people see obstacles. Especially relevant now, when the world is changing so rapidly.
It's all about perspective. Do you see the glass as half full or half empty? Rich people, they spot opportunities even when faced with challenges.
They see obstacles as stepping stones.
Exactly. And they maintain that optimistic outlook, believing in their ability to create positive outcomes. Poor people often focus on the obstacles and they dwell in negativity. They might believe that success is just not meant for them or that something external is always holding them back.
Eker wants us to train our minds to see possibilities, even in those challenging situations. Believe in our ability to overcome obstacles and create that life of abundance, even when facing adversity.
He reminds us that opportunities are always present, often disguised as obstacles. It's up to us to recognize and capitalize on them.
It's all about our perspective.
Precisely.
Let's delve into this wealth file. Rich people are willing to take calculated risks. Poor people are terrified of risk.
Here we see the difference between approaching finances from a place of fear versus a place of growth. Rich people get that calculated risks are part of creating significant wealth. Poor people often let fear make those decisions, avoiding anything that feels risky.
So it's not about being reckless, it's about being strategic.
Exactly. They're informed, they assess the downsides, and they mitigate risks effectively. They understand playing it safe often limits their potential.
And poor people might cling to that false sense of security, which actually prevents them from growing.
Aker wants us to reframe our relationship with risk. He reminds us that fear is often an illusion, a barrier that stops us from reaching our full potential.
It's about acknowledging the risks, but not letting fear paralyze us.
It's about being strategic and taking those calculated steps toward your goals.
This willingness to take calculated risks can lead to extraordinary things.
Absolutely. It's about embracing the unknown and trusting in our ability to overcome any challenges we face.
This next wealth file really resonated with me. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. This makes you think about the people you surround yourself with.
It's all about your environment, the people you surround yourself with, the energy, the beliefs. All of that can either support you or hold you back.
So rich people, they understand the importance of surrounding themselves with positive people who inspire and support them.
They seek out those mentors and collaborators, building that network of growth and abundance.
It's like building your own personal mastermind group, a network of people who are all on the same wavelength and striving for success.
Poor people can sometimes find themselves surrounded by negativity, with people who reinforce those limiting beliefs and create a scarcity mindset.
It's not about abandoning your current friends, but about being aware of the energy they bring into your life. It's about making sure your social circles are supportive of your growth and aspirations.
Eker urges us to consciously curate our social circles, associating with those who inspire us and challenge us to reach our full potential.
Recognizing that we become like those we spend our time with.
Precisely.
Now, this wealth file is interesting. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. Especially relevant in today's world, right?
It's about how our emotional response to wealth impacts our own ability to attract and manage it.
So rich people, they see successful people as role models and sources of inspiration.
They learn from them, admire their accomplishments, and use those success stories to fuel their own journeys.
It's about seeing the success of others as proof that it's possible, rather than feeling threatened or jealous.
Exactly. Poor people might actually harbor resentment or negative beliefs about wealthy people.
Like they're pushing abundance away with their negativity, almost creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of lack.
It's fascinating how that works, isn't it?
Eker says we need to shift our perspective from resentment to admiration.
It's about recognizing that wealth is not a limited resource. There's enough abundance for everyone.
And when we admire the success of others, we cultivate a more abundant mindset.
Precisely.
Here's one that really makes you think. Rich people are willing to focus on making themselves happy first. Poor people believe that money will make them happy.
This is so important in today's society with all those messages telling us that happiness comes from material possessions.
It's about understanding that true happiness comes from within, and that chasing wealth to achieve happiness will often lead to disappointment.
Rich people, they prioritize their well-being. They do the things that bring them joy, and they cultivate that sense of peace and fulfillment that actually transcends their financial situation. They get that money can enhance their lives, but it can't buy happiness.
It's about finding that joy in the journey itself, not just in the destination.
So well said. Poor money. People often believe that money is the key to happiness. They work tirelessly in jobs they dislike, they neglect their relationships, they sacrifice their well-being, all in the pursuit of wealth.
Chasing that external goal, believing that happiness will magically appear once they achieve a certain level of wealth.
Eker encourages us to cultivate inner fulfillment.
Focus on well-being, do things that bring joy, nurture positive relationships, pursue passions.
Create a foundation of happiness that attracts abundance.
True wealth encompasses our relationships, our health, our sense of purpose. It's about so much more than just our bank accounts.
Beautifully put.
Rich people think I am worthy of wealth. Poor people believe I am not worthy of wealth. This is crucial for those struggling with self-doubt.
It's about recognizing your inherent worthiness and that you deserve abundance. Rich people have this unwavering belief in themselves. They understand wealth is available to anyone who adopts the right mindset.
They approach it with confidence.
Exactly. Poor people may have deep-seated beliefs about their own unworthiness, feeling like they're not good enough or deserving. They might even sabotage their own efforts towards success.
Creating that self-fulfilling prophecy of scarcity.
Eker encourages us to challenge those limiting beliefs about our worthiness.
Release those beliefs embrace your value, and affirm your right to experience prosperity.
Recognize that we are all deserving of abundance.
Here's another one that I think is really important for taking action. Rich people take action. Poor people procrastinate or make excuses. This is for those who might be feeling stuck or overwhelmed by the idea of changing their financial situation.
It's all about initiative, being proactive, moving forward even when faced with uncertainty. Rich people understand that action is what unlocks potential.
They don't wait for the perfect moment. They realize movement creates momentum, and getting started often means getting out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. Poor people might get stuck in a cycle of procrastination, making excuses, waiting for the ideal moment to finally take that leap of faith. This can really hold them back from achieving their dreams.
They prioritize comfort over growth and convince themselves that they lack the resources or the ability to create the life they desire.
Eker wants us to cultivate that bias towards action.
Take those first steps, even if they seem small or insignificant.
Develop a proactive mindset. Set those goals. Create your action plan. Take consistent steps. Break free from that procrastination.
The choices we make today shape our financial future.
Precisely.
Now let's consider. Rich people constantly seek ways to increase their income. Poor people think their income is determined by their employer.
It's about being proactive and recognizing that you're not limited by your job. Rich people have that entrepreneurial mindset. They constantly seek opportunities to increase their income, exploring multiple avenues and diversifying their portfolio.
Building businesses, investing wisely, creating streams of passive income.
They take control of their financial destiny and build a life full of choice and abundance. Poor people can get stuck in a mindset where their income feels fixed, like their employer is the only one who can dictate their earnings potential. They might even settle for a job that doesn't truly fulfill them.
Eker wants us to embrace that entrepreneurial spirit and recognize that we have the power to create those multiple income streams. It's about breaking free from that dependence on a single source of income.
Building a life where you have more options and more choices.
Exactly. Now, what about this? Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income.
This one's crucial for understanding the true essence of wealth. It's about building long-term wealth, not just exchanging your time for a paycheck. Rich people understand that true wealth goes beyond their working income.
They focus on building their net worth, acquiring those assets that appreciate in value, generating passive income, and creating a strong financial foundation.
Precisely. Poor people, however, often get caught up in their working income, neglecting the importance of saving and investing. They may live paycheck to paycheck even if they're earning a high income.
Eker wants us to shift our focus from working income to net worth.
He reminds us that true wealth requires more than just earning a good income. It's about being mindful of your spending habits, saving, investing, and managing your money effectively.
This creates a foundation for long-term prosperity, where your money works for you rather than the other way around.
Exactly. It's all about achieving financial freedom.
Here's another important one. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. It seems like financial literacy and healthy financial habits are crucial here.
It's about understanding the impact of our financial decisions. Rich people know that managing money is essential for creating and preserving wealth. They create budgets, they track expenses, they save, invest, and they seek guidance when needed.
They're proactive about their money and ensure it's working in their favor.
Exactly. Poor people can struggle with money management. They may lack discipline, overspend, or neglect saving and investing, which can lead to financial stress and instability.
Eker urges us to develop those healthy financial habits.
Create systems for managing your finances effectively. It's not about deprivation. It's about creating control, security, and abundance.
It's about taking charge of your financial well-being.
Precisely.
This next one really struck a chord with me. Rich people work money. Poor people work for money.
It's about understanding leverage and creating financial freedom that goes beyond your own labor. Rich people understand that money can be a tool. They invest wisely, leverage financial instruments, and build businesses that generate passive income.
So they create systems where their money works for them, even when they're not actively working.
Precisely. They build wealth that continues to grow regardless of their direct involvement. Poor people often find themselves in a position where they're trading their time for a paycheck.
They're limited in terms of earning potential, and they might even feel trapped in a job that doesn't align with their passions.
Eker wants us to shift our perspective from working for money to working money.
Realize that true freedom comes from working smarter, not harder.
Explore those entrepreneurial ventures, investments, and other opportunities that create passive income streams, freeing you from the limitations of trading your time for money.
Create a life where your income isn't determined by how many hours you work.
It's about building a life of choice and abundance.
Rich people think big, poor people think small. I love this one.
It's so foundational. Our beliefs and self-imposed limitations can really shape our outcomes. Rich people have this expansive mindset. They think big, set ambitious goals, and they truly believe in their ability to achieve great things.
They don't limit themselves with negativity or doubt.
Exactly. Poor people can get trapped in that small thinking, setting small goals, doubting their abilities, and focusing on what they lack rather than what they can create.
Their thoughts can become self-fulfilling prophecies, trapping them in that cycle of lack.
Aker encourages us to expand our thinking, set those audacious goals, and believe in our ability to achieve them.
Our thoughts create our reality. Think big, and you open those doors to possibilities.
Cultivate that abundance mentality, release the limitations, and visualize that abundant future.
Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. This is an interesting one. It seems particularly relevant for those who might be feeling unfulfilled in their jobs.
It's all about creating value that transcends time. Rich people, they understand their earning potential is not capped by the number of hours they work. They focus on results and the value they create. Poor people often settle for those time-based wages or salaries.
They might value that security and predictability, but they're actually limiting their potential for growth.
Eker urges us to seek out opportunities where our compensation aligns with the value we provide.
It's not just about how many hours you work, but about the impact you make.
Exactly. Create a life where your work is a source of fulfillment and abundance.
Rich people are lifelong learners. Poor people think they already know enough. So crucial in today's world when things are changing so quickly.
It's all about mindset again. Rich people, they never stop learning. They understand the importance of continuously educating themselves, developing their skills, and striving for personal growth. They see that the world is constantly evolving and that they need to adapt to stay ahead of the curve.
They're always seeking new knowledge and new skills. They invest in themselves.
Poor people can sometimes resist learning, thinking they already know everything they need to know. They might fear the effort or investment required for growth, but this resistance actually limits their potential.
Eker encourages us to view learning as an ongoing process, a vital investment in our future.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to finances.
Rich people ask, what's the risk? Poor people ask, what if I fail? It seems to be about how our relationship with failure influences our actions.
Rich people get that risk is a part of any journey, especially a financial one. They focus on assessing and mitigating risk. They don't let fear hold them back.
Poor people often get stuck in the fear of failure. They might obsess over the worst-case scenarios and prevent themselves from taking those necessary steps to reach their goals. That fear becomes a self-imposed limitation.
Eker encourages a more strategic mindset, one that acknowledges both the potential for success and the potential for failure. And welcome back to the deep dive, where we're going to keep unraveling those secrets of the millionaire mind with Harv Eker's work.
We've already uncovered a bunch of really fascinating wealth files, and I'm excited to dig into even more. What other insights does Eker offer?
Well, he's got a lot of thought-provoking ideas, each one challenging us to examine those deeply held beliefs about money. One that really stands out to me is, rich people think long-term, poor people think short-term. Simple concept, but it can have a big impact on how we approach building wealth.
I can see that. It's about delaying gratification, right? Prioritizing those future rewards over that immediate pleasure.
Exactly. Rich people, they're really good at that. Foregoing instant satisfaction to pursue those long-term goals. It's a key ingredient for building wealth.
Investing time, energy, and resources into those things with a long-term vision. Knowing that real success often requires patience, discipline, and a willingness to wait for things to blossom.
Such a great analogy. It's like planting a seed, nurturing it, and trusting that it will eventually grow into something beautiful.
In contrast, poor people tend to prioritize that instant gratification. They might make those impulsive purchases, rack up debt, or neglect saving, all of which can hinder their progress.
It's like they're so focused on that immediate pleasure that they sacrifice their long-term well-being.
Eker reminds us that building wealth takes time. It's about planting those seeds, nurturing them, and knowing that the rewards will come eventually.
Exactly. Shifting our focus from immediate gratification to building a solid foundation.
Playing the long game, making those choices today that will pay off in the future.
Okay, here's one that might seem a bit counterintuitive. Rich people are willing to get rich. Poor people are afraid to get rich. It seems strange, doesn't it? Wouldn't everyone want to be wealthy?
Yeah, you'd think so. What's the deal with this fear of wealth? What's going on there?
I think it reveals how deeply ingrained our fears can be. Often they're operating on a subconscious level, sabotaging our efforts without us even realizing it.
So you might consciously desire wealth, but then subconsciously have these fears that hold you back.
Precisely. It might come from childhood conditioning. Maybe societal messages portraying wealth as something negative, or maybe even a fear of success itself.
Eager mentions fears like losing the wealth once you acquire it, feeling unworthy of that abundance, or the fear of managing large sums of money.
All valid concerns. But when we don't address these fears, they can become self-fulfilling prophecies, keeping us stuck in a cycle of scarcity.
So how do we deal with those deep-seated fears?
Hika encourages us to confront them head on. Bring them into the light, challenge their validity, explore the root of those fears, question them, and replace them with beliefs that support your journey toward financial well-being.
Recognizing that fear is often an illusion, a mental barrier that prevents us from reaching our potential.
Exactly. When we acknowledge those fears and work through them, we unlock the flow of abundance.
Rich people believe I am greater than my problems. Poor people believe my problems are greater than me. This one feels particularly relevant right now with all the challenges in the world.
Absolutely. It's all about how we approach those problems. Are we proactive or reactive? Rich people, they see their ability to overcome obstacles, any obstacle.
They see problems as opportunities for growth and learning.
They don't shy away from challenges, they lean into them, and they focus their energy on finding solutions.
And poor people can get overwhelmed by those problems. They let those problems control their thoughts and actions.
Eker says we need to adopt that rich mindset, believe that we are more powerful than our problems, empower ourselves to take control.
Develop resilience, problem-solving skills, a proactive approach to any challenge that comes our way.
Remember, challenges are an inevitable part of life. It's our ability to overcome them that truly determines our success.
This next wealth file can be a bit uncomfortable for some people. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion.
It's about those limiting beliefs and misconceptions surrounding self-promotion.
A lot of people struggle with this. They view self-promotion as pushy or inauthentic.
Rich people, they understand the importance of communication. Being able to express your value, showcase your skills, and promote your offerings is crucial for attracting opportunities.
And it's not about bragging, it's about authentically sharing your expertise, letting people know what you bring to the table.
Exactly. Poor people might shy away from this, thinking their work should speak for itself. They might downplay their accomplishments or be afraid of putting themselves out there.
This can limit their visibility and really hold them back.
Eker challenges us to see self-promotion as a skill, one that we can develop and use to our advantage.
It's about confidently communicating your value and letting the world see what you're capable of.
Okay, let's dive into another one that might challenge those comfort zones. Rich people are willing to be uncomfortable. Poor people are committed to being comfortable.
It goes against our natural inclination to seek comfort and security.
Right. We all crave that sense of comfort. But Eker suggests that real growth, especially when it comes to finances, often requires us to step outside of what feels familiar and embrace those moments of discomfort.
It's about recognizing that those feelings of discomfort can be indicators of progress. It means we're pushing those boundaries and expanding our potential.
Exactly. Poor people, they might prioritize that comfort and security above all else, but this can keep them stuck.
It's about recognizing that those comfort zones are often self-imposed limitations.
And it's when we step outside of them that the magic happens. Embrace those challenges, take those risks, and you might be surprised at what you're capable of achieving.
Rich people learn from their mistakes and get richer. Poor people make the same mistakes over and over and stay poor.
This one is about mindset. Rich people see their mistakes as valuable opportunities for growth.
It's not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them.
Exactly. They understand that failure is just part of the journey.
Failure is feedback.
Exactly. It's an opportunity to course correct, to get back on track and move forward with more wisdom and experience.
So, poor people, they might get stuck in those negative thought patterns, dwelling on those mistakes and ultimately repeating those same mistakes over and over again.
Eker wants us to change our perspective, see those mistakes as valuable lessons that can ultimately lead to greater success.
Rich people focus on their strengths. poor people focus on their weaknesses.
I love this one. It speaks to the power of leveraging our unique talents. Rich people, they focus on what they excel at, they identify those strengths, and they really nurture them. They delegate tasks that don't align with their natural abilities. Poor people, however, sometimes get caught up in their weaknesses.
It's like we're trying to fix something that's broken instead of celebrating and amplifying what's already working.
Precisely. Eker reminds us that we all have unique talents and gifts. It's about discovering those strengths and using them to our advantage.
Find what you're good at, what lights you up, and focus on those areas.
Exactly. Delegate the things that drain you, the things that don't bring out your best. This way, you're operating from a place of power, utilizing your natural abilities to create success and abundance.
Rich people act to promote their net worth. Poor people act to promote their self-worth. This feels especially relevant in today's culture, where we often equate material possessions with self-worth.
It's about recognizing the difference between true wealth and seeking validation from those external sources. Rich people, they're building a solid financial foundation, aligned with their goals and values. They're not concerned with impressing others.
They understand that true wealth encompasses much more than material possessions. It's about creating a life of freedom, choice, and purpose.
Precisely. Poor people can sometimes make financial decisions based on that need for external approval.
They might prioritize keeping up with the Joneses, spending money they don't have to project an image of success. Ultimately, they're sacrificing their long-term well-being for that fleeting external validation.
It's a recipe for disaster. Eker wants us to align our actions with our own values and aspirations. Focus on building that secure foundation that supports your dreams, not the expectations of others.
Rich people see opportunities, poor people see obstacles.
It's about mindset and perspective. Rich people have a knack for spotting potential even in the midst of challenges. They see obstacles as stepping stones on the path to success.
It's about having that can-do attitude and believing that you can overcome anything that gets in your way.
Poor people might focus on the negatives. They see limitations, dwell on what's wrong, and miss those opportunities for growth.
Eker encourages us to train our minds to see those possibilities, even when things get tough.
Believe in your ability to overcome those obstacles and create a life of abundance. Remember, opportunity often knocks in the form of a challenge. It's up to us to answer the door.
Rich people are willing to take calculated risks. Poor people are terrified of risk. This one really highlights how our relationship with risk can impact our decisions.
Rich people get it. They know that calculated risks are necessary for creating wealth. They don't shy away from those risks. They approach them strategically. They assess the potential downsides, come up with plans, and make informed decisions.
They understand that avoiding risks can actually limit your potential.
Precisely. And poor people often let that fear of failure dictate their choices. They might dwell on the worst-case scenarios and avoid taking any risks at all.
So it's about changing our mindset, right? Viewing those calculated risks as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our security.
Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people.
This one highlights the importance of the company we keep and how it can impact our mindset and behaviors.
Rich people, they understand the power of surrounding themselves with those who uplift, inspire, and support them.
They build a network of positive individuals who contribute to their growth.
Poor people might find themselves stuck in negative environments with people who reinforce limiting beliefs and hold them back from reaching their potential.
It's about being mindful of the energy you allow into your life.
Choose to surround yourself with individuals who are aligned with your goals, who inspire you, and who support your journey toward abundance.
Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people.
This one's fascinating. It's about how our emotional response to wealth can affect our own ability to create it.
Right, so rich people, they see the success of others as inspiration, as proof that it's possible for them to achieve their own dreams.
They admire those accomplishments and often learn from them. They don't see it as a threat. Poor people, on the other hand, can sometimes feel resentment or negativity towards those who've achieved financial success.
They might harbor beliefs about money being evil or feel like success is just not attainable for them.
Eker reminds us that wealth is not a limited resource. There's enough abundance for everyone. When we shift our perspective from resentment to admiration, we open ourselves up to greater possibilities.
Rich people are willing to focus on making themselves happy first. Poor people believe that money will make them happy. This is a crucial distinction, especially with all the messaging we're bombarded with that equates happiness with material possessions.
It's about understanding that true happiness comes from within. It's about prioritizing your well-being, engaging in activities that bring you joy, and cultivating that inner peace and fulfillment that transcends your financial situation.
Rich people understand that while money can enhance life, it can't buy happiness. It's about finding that joy in the journey itself.
Exactly. Poor people, however, they might fall into the trap of believing that money is the key to happiness. They sacrifice their health, relationships, and well-being chasing wealth, often ending up disappointed.
Eker reminds us that we need to cultivate that inner happiness first. Focus on the things that bring you joy and fulfillment.
Rich people think I am worthy of wealth. Poor people believe I am not worthy of wealth.
This one is so powerful, especially for people who struggle with self-doubt.
It's about recognizing your inherent worthiness. Rich people, they have no problem believing that they deserve abundance. They approach wealth creation with confidence, knowing that they have the power to create the life they desire.
Poor people can get stuck in those limiting beliefs about their own worthiness, feeling like they're not good enough or that they don't deserve to be wealthy.
Eker urges us to challenge those limiting beliefs and embrace the truth. We are all deserving of abundance.
It's about releasing those self-sabotaging patterns and stepping into a reality that reflects your true worth.
Rich people take action. Poor people procrastinate or make excuses.
This is about taking control of your destiny and realizing that you have the power to shape your future. Rich people, they understand that action is essential. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They get started, knowing that movement creates momentum. Poor people often find themselves stuck in that cycle of procrastination, making excuses or waiting for the ideal circumstances to magically appear.
It's like they're putting their dreams on hold.
Eker encourages us to embrace that bias towards action. Take those first steps, no matter how small they seem.
Create an action plan and take consistent steps toward your goals. You'll be amazed at the progress you make.
Rich people constantly seek ways to increase their income. Poor people think their income is determined by their employer.
It's about adopting an entrepreneurial mindset. Rich people, they understand that they're not limited by their job or their employer. They explore different avenues for income generation.
They invest, build businesses, and create those passive income streams.
They recognize that their earning potential is limitless. Poor people, on the other hand, can get stuck in the mindset that their income is fixed. They might feel limited by their job or their circumstances, overlooking those opportunities for growth.
Eker encourages us to break free from that limited thinking and explore the possibilities.
We all have the power to create multiple income streams and build a life of financial abundance and freedom.
Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income.
This is about building true wealth, not just exchanging your time for money. Rich people, they get that their net worth is the true measure of their wealth.
It's about looking at the big picture.
It's about acquiring assets, building that financial foundation, and creating a life of security and abundance. Poor people, however, sometimes get caught up in that paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, neglecting the importance of building long-term wealth.
It's about being mindful of your spending habits and making those choices that support your long-term goals.
Exactly. Save, invest, and manage your money wisely.
Rich people manage their money well, poor people mismanage their money well.
This one's all about developing those healthy financial habits that can make all the difference. Rich people, they've got systems in place, they track their expenses, create budgets, save, invest, and they're not afraid to seek expert advice when needed.
It's about being proactive and ensuring that your money is working for you, rather than the other way around.
Poor people might struggle with managing money. They overspend, neglect saving, and lack financial discipline. Eker wants us to change this and develop those good habits.
It's not about deprivation, it's about creating a sense of control and empowerment when it comes to your finances.
Rich people work money, poor people work for money. This speaks to the idea of leverage and creating financial freedom beyond your own labor.
Rich people, they understand the power of leverage. They invest their money in ways that generate more money. They build businesses that work for them, creating passive income and dreams that allow them to achieve financial freedom.
They create systems and structures where their money is working for them even when they're not actively working.
Poor people might find themselves stuck in that cycle of trading their time for money. They're limited in their earning potential, and they might even feel trapped in a job that doesn't bring them joy or fulfillment.
Eker wants us to shift our perspective from working for money to working money.
Explore those entrepreneurial ventures, investments, and other opportunities that can generate passive income, freeing us from the limitations of that time for money trap.
Rich people think big, poor people think small. This is such a fundamental concept when it comes to wealth creation. Rich people have that expansive mindset. They set ambitious goals, they think big, and they believe in their ability to achieve those goals.
Poor people. They might limit themselves by thinking small. They might doubt their abilities or feel like big goals are just not attainable for them.
Eker urges us to expand our thinking. Think big, set those audacious goals, and believe in your capacity to achieve them.
Our thoughts create our reality. When we think big, we open ourselves to greater opportunities.
Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time.
This is about recognizing that our earning potential is not limited by the number of hours we work, but by the value we create. Rich people often choose to be compensated based on results. They embrace commissions, entrepreneurial ventures, and investments that generate passive income.
They know their income is a reflection of the value they bring to the table. Poor people can get stuck in those time-based jobs, limiting their earning potential and feeling like they're always trading their precious time for a set amount of money.
Eker wants us to shift our perspective and focus on building a life where our income is determined by the results we produce, not just by how many hours we clock in.
Rich people are lifelong learners. Poor people think they already know enough.
This one speaks to the importance of continuous learning and growth. Rich people, they understand that knowledge is power, and they never stop seeking out new information and expanding their skill set.
They attend seminars, read books, seek mentors, and invest in their education. Poor people might resist that process of learning, thinking they've already reached a point where they know enough.
This kind of thinking can really limit your potential, especially in a world that's constantly evolving.
Eker reminds us that learning is a lifelong journey, especially when it comes to finance. Invest in your financial education, and you'll be amazed at the doors that open for you.
Rich people ask, what's the risk? Poor people ask, what if I fail? This is a powerful distinction. It highlights how our relationship with risk can impact our willingness to take action.
Rich people, they understand that risk is part of the game. They assess those risks, they mitigate them, and they make calculated decisions. Poor people might get paralyzed by the fear of failure, dwelling on the worst-case scenarios and preventing themselves from taking those necessary steps.
Aker encourages us to adopt a more strategic mindset. Acknowledge those risks, analyze them, and make informed decisions. Don't let fear hold you back from pursuing your goals.
Rich people believe, give me my money now. Poor people believe, someday I'll be rich.
This one's about taking action and realizing that the best time to start building wealth is now. Rich people have a sense of urgency about creating wealth. They seize opportunities, make investments, and build businesses.
Poor people can sometimes fall into the trap of procrastination, thinking that someday they'll start saving or investing, but that someday never seems to come.
It's about making the most of the present moment and recognizing that every decision we make shapes our financial future.
Rich people believe, I choose to create wealth. Poor people believe money is evil or rich people are greedy.
This is about our beliefs surrounding wealth.
Rich people see wealth creation as a positive thing. They believe that they have the power to create wealth and that money is a tool that can be used for good. Poor people can sometimes harbor negative beliefs about wealth, thinking that it's inherently evil or that rich people are greedy.
These beliefs can sabotage their efforts.
Eker reminds us that our beliefs shape our reality. If we want to attract wealth into our lives, we need to believe that it's possible, that we're deserving of it, and that it can be a force for good in the world.
Rich people believe, I am bigger than my problems. Poor people believe, my problems are bigger than me.
This is all about mindset. Rich people believe in their ability to overcome challenges. They have a solution-oriented mindset and don't let problems define them.
Poor people might get stuck in those negative thought patterns, letting their problems dominate their thoughts and actions.
Eker reminds us that challenges are an inevitable part of life. It's how we respond to them that really matters. Develop that resilience, that problem-solving mindset, and remember that you are more powerful than any problem that comes your way.
Rich people are excellent promoters, poor people are poor promoters.
It's about understanding the power of self-promotion and being able to confidently communicate your value to the world. Rich people, they get this. They're not afraid to step into the spotlight, showcase their skills, and let the world see what they're capable of.
Poor people often struggle with self-promotion, feeling uncomfortable or even ashamed to highlight their strengths and accomplishments.
Eker encourages us to embrace self-promotion as a skill that we can develop. Learn how to share your gifts and attract those opportunities.
Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. This one's really important for understanding what true wealth is all about.
It's about building that long-term financial foundation, creating a life of freedom and security. Rich people, they get this. They're not just focused on their paycheck. They're focused on their net worth. They're acquiring assets, building businesses, and creating passive income streams that work for them.
Poor people, however, can get caught up in that paycheck-to-paycheck cycle.
And neglecting the importance of saving and investing.
Eker encourages us to shift our focus from working income to net worth. Make those choices that support your long-term financial goals.
And welcome back to the deep dive as we wrap up our exploration of Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. We've uncovered so many gems already, and in this final segment, we'll delve into even more wealth files and actionable strategies for transforming your financial reality.
I'm ready for those last nuggets of wisdom. One that really stands out to me is this. Rich people believe I am the source of my abundance. Poor people believe my source of abundance is my employer or the government. It seems to be about reclaiming that power to create wealth. Right.
Exactly. It's about where we place our locus of control, internally or externally. Rich people understand they are in control of their financial destiny. They don't rely solely on outside entities for their well-being.
Eker points out that those with a rich mindset, they often have that entrepreneurial spirit. They take initiative, they create opportunities, and they build those businesses or investments that generate wealth independently.
And on the other hand, you have those with a poorer mindset. They can feel constrained by their circumstances. They might believe their earning potential is limited by their job or rely heavily on external support.
Eker's message is clear. Believe in yourself as the architect of your abundance. Explore those diverse income streams, build businesses, invest wisely, and develop those skills that generate value.
This empowerment allows us to break free from that financial dependence and create a life of abundance and self-reliance.
Another one that caught my eye is rich people focus on opportunities, poor people focus on obstacles. Again, it seems to be about embracing that abundant mindset.
It's all about perspective. Rich people, they're amazing at spotting potential even in the midst of challenges. Obstacles become stepping stones, not roadblocks.
Eker talks about how they have that optimistic outlook, believing in their ability to find solutions, to turn those challenges to their advantage.
While those with a poor mindset, they might get bogged down by the negativity. They dwell on limitations, complain about circumstances, and let fear overshadow those potential opportunities for growth.
It's about training our minds to see those possibilities where others see limitations.
Cultivating that entrepreneurial spirit that allows you to turn challenges into profitable ventures.
This shift in perspective is so powerful. It allows us to not only face those challenges, but to use them as fuel for growth.
Absolutely.
One last wealth file that really resonated with me. Rich people think action will solve my problems. Poor people think knowledge will solve my problems. It highlights the importance of putting that knowledge into action.
It's about recognizing that knowledge without action is essentially useless. Rich people, they take what they learn and they apply it to their lives.
Eker gives the example of someone who might read a ton of books about finance, but never actually implements any of those strategies.
They accumulate knowledge, but they don't take those necessary steps to create real-world results.
So it's about being a doer, not just a learner.
Set those goals, make that plan, and take those consistent steps toward achieving your objectives.
Turn those financial aspirations into tangible achievements.
So to wrap things up, let's distill Eker's teachings into a concise 10-point summary that you can use to cultivate your own millionaire mind.
Love it. Let's hear those key takeaways.
Okay, here we go. 1, acknowledge and reprogram your subconscious financial blueprint.
I'm taking notes.
2, understand that your early conditioning from verbal programming, modeling, and specific incidents shape that blueprint.
Got it.
3, address the root cause, your mindset, not just the results.
Change the roots to change the fruits.
4, recognize the distinction between a rich mindset and a poor mindset.
Okay.
5, take action even if you're afraid.
Action is key.
6, let go of negative thoughts about money.
Makes sense.
7, embrace discomfort.
Growth happens outside that comfort zone.
8, never stop learning and seek expert guidance.
Knowledge is power.
9, manage money well and build net worth.
Okay.
And 10, believe in yourself and be open to receiving abundance.
I love it. What a powerful reminder that financial freedom is a journey, not a destination. It's about embracing that growth mindset and consistently taking those steps to create the financial future we desire.
Exactly. Financial success is not about luck or circumstances. It's about cultivating that millionaire mind.
Secrets of the Millionaire Mind has given us so much to think about, so much to put into practice.
It's a reminder that we have the power to create the financial future we desire.
We just need to tap into that power and take those inspired actions.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you feel empowered to embrace your financial potential and cultivate your own millionaire mind.
Until next time, on the Deep Dive, happy wealth building.